It's 2021 and I'm 19 years old, and one thing that I'm always thinking about is working in a high level career. Underneath my suit and my tie, bro, I've got a fucking six pack and some jacked pair of arms. I'm young, my testosterone's at its peak, and I should be a motivated, ambitious motherfucker with like some action taking balls, bro. But instead, I do zero actions in my day that are conducive to the goals that I just told you about that I had. I would stay up sometimes for up to 36 hours playing Call of Duty, and that led to me being so tired and low energy and low drive that I would stay up in my bed for 2 hours. Like after waking up, I would scroll for 2 hours. Minimum amount of screen time I'd have in a day is like 8 hours, bro. And at this time, when my mind was unstimulated, it was a dark place to be. I couldn't separate myself from my thoughts, and I get such anxious thoughts at times about so many different things, about my family, about my friends, about my looks, my height, everything. I just got insecure about like my entire life as a whole, and it would lead to me literally ripping and biting at my hands. And at one point they got so fucking ripped up that they were bleeding constantly. And I remember my mum once told me, oh, no woman would ever want to marry you with hands that look like that. And people around me would ask like, bro, what happened to your hands? And I have to lie and say like, I've got some skin condition. Sometimes I'd say like, oh man, like I got injured. But bro, in reality, I was just down in the dumps, bro. I used to rip at my hands, and I used to just think about negative shit all the time, because those were the thoughts that were given to me by my mind. The horrible thing is, this all got so much worse when I didn't have school, because I didn't have anyone telling me what to do. So my mind just defaulted to this sort of negative average Joe life, man. Like, look bro, in school I was actually a decent performer, and this is the bullshit that I had to go through. I had to go through a fucking video game addiction, a bad habit, scroller degenerate, and I actually got some decent ass grades in school, bro. When someone told me what to do, I was on it. I was able to get the good habits done, and I was able to actually study. I got some of the top grades in my entire fucking country, bro. I got A star, A star, A at A level. Those are like the UK exams you sit at age 18, and that got me into one of the top unis in my country for engineering. But the sad thing is, bro, that fucking did nothing for me during COVID, because I couldn't tell myself to do any good habits. And that is what turns a boy from a man. And most boys don't get turned into men these days, bro, because they're throttled into obedience. And I've seen it myself, man. I've seen managers at my first ever full-time job go red in the face when they have to take so many calls on a screen for 8 hours straight per day that they have fucking veins in their head, like out of the stress. And they fucking take those Panasonic red headphones off and they slam them down and they end that Teams call. And then only for a minute later, yeah, to barely have a bite of their sandwich for lunch. And then put those headphones straight back on and jump into the next call. It's a sad, sad life of obedience, bro. And all it takes is for you to take action after this video to change that shit, bro. So I'm gonna lay out the roadmap for you in this video for that first step. Yo, my name is Jas, and I took back control of my life using discipline. And I teach young men on this channel how to do the same thing, but smarter, quicker, and better than me. So if you wanna stick around for that, because you already seem interested, bro, you should hit the subscribe, because it helps me help you. I'm gonna tell you exactly now how to take back control, and it's gonna be using my 2-hour method that I used in 2023 when I worked that exact first full-time job, bro. Look, you're probably a decent all-round performer. You're a smart motherfucker, man. You're probably pretty highly educated. And look, I know that when you're forced, when you're like close to the deadline, you can push out like immense amounts of work. You can sometimes, even when you're forced by like a sports coach or something in PE, you can do the hard workout. And that's for something that you've not imposed onto yourself. So imagine when you do something that has been imposed by you for your goals in your interests. And that's where my 2-hour method comes in, bro. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can start imposing this stuff onto yourself. There's an authoritarian in your life, whether that be your manager, your teacher, or your parents. You need to wake up 2 hours before an authoritarian tells you what to do. And it might not be them telling you specifically like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna text Jas at 7 a.m. to wake up for school. That's not what a teacher does, bro. But I'm just saying, you don't have to imagine a specific thing in your head. You just gotta imagine, okay, school tells me to wake up at this time, or work tells me to wake up at this time. But 2 hours before that wake up time that you need to get ready for that thing, you wake up off your own accord and you do what you need to in order to make progress towards your goals. Okay, bro, I'm gonna give you the exact protocol that you need in order to get this done, and I'm gonna drop it as quickly as I can so that you can just like take notes and you can really digest this properly. In time order, first step, it happens tonight. You plan tomorrow today, at least tomorrow morning. Just take this step by step, okay? What you need to do, you need to write down the time that you're gonna wake up. That's number one. You got to write this shit down. You can't just think, oh, nah, I'm gonna do it in my head and like I think I can get it done because like you think you're some smart motherfucker. Like, bro, I know you're smart, yeah, but the human brain was not made to store ideas. It was made to just create the good ideas. Pen and a paper or your phone notes these days, that is what's used to store the ideas. So get out the fucking notepad on your phone, or you open up a book and you something to write in, right? And you write down the time you're gonna wake up. All it takes, bro, you can do the subtraction in your head. You've got the number in your head already when I said it earlier. Just write that shit down. It doesn't take much. What I'm basically telling you is that it takes like a minuscule amount of discipline to just literally swipe up on your phone, change the app to notes, and then write down the time that you're gonna wake up and then come back to the video. And you just got to do that a couple times in the next like 2-3 minutes. And that's your first act of discipline in a fucking while, bro. And after you've written down that you need to wake up at like, let's say it's 5 o'clock for you, right? Let's say you have to wake up at 5 a.m. You've written that down. What you're going to do next is going to take advantage of what I call the domino effect of habits, which is where you do some really easy task before you enter the hard tasks. And you can copy exactly what I do, which is you drink a glass of water and you drop down, you do at least 10 to 20 press ups minimum, because everyone can do that shit, bro. Everyone can wake up and do 10 press ups. Like, if you are a fully grown adult male and you're watching this video and you can't do 10 press ups, then you got bigger problems than what I'm talking about in this video, bro. Go click off and go fucking watch a fat loss video or some shit, because like this is embarrassing. If you can't do 10 press ups as a fully grown adult male, like, I'll give you permission to go on your knees. This shit, man. You probably didn't click a video like some next man like me telling you to go on your knees, but here we are, bro. And look, after you do those few easy habits, you jump straight into hard task number 1, which needs to be cold exposure. And I'll tell you why it needs to be cold exposure, bro. It's because that is the thing that never ever gets easier. Working out gets easier. Studying gets easier. Working on your business, working on your career, that gets easier. But taking a cold shower early in the morning at 5 a.m, that shit never gets easy. Your brain will always repel the idea. And that's why I invented to do the domino effect first, because that's what made it super easy for me. And now I've done a cold shower every single day for the past year. Not because I felt good every morning, but because I had the discipline system in place to do it. So if you haven't already, get back onto the notes page, like I said earlier, and write down cold exposure, and then come back to this video. So if you're back right now, you've written down wake up time, a couple of really easy habits like drinking water or like opening the fucking window, or bro, something fucking easy like 20 fucking squats. And then you've also written down cold shower. And then the only thing you need to write down after that, this is the last thing I'm going to tell you to do, is something that I call the 20% high leverage task. And that is going to be the top 1 or 2 tasks that you need to do in order to make progress towards your goals. And I mean real progress, bro. Not like sitting down, if you got like an exam coming up, not like sitting down and highlighting the book and like trying to memorize it and then drawing a mind map around your book and messing it all up. Bro, it's the hard dungeons type of work. Like doing the past paper, scoring like 30% and thinking, fuck, I need to improve. And then the next day you come back and you get 35. And then that is how you make the real progress. You write down the exact task. Or if it's the gym, you don't like write gym, you write back day. And then in like subscript, you write exercise 1, lat pull down, exercise 2, weighted pull-ups, exercise 3, barbell row. However you want to do a back day, bro. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. As long as you stick to weightlifting for the next 5 years, you're going to build a peng physique anyway. So for me, the 20% task is either going to be a gym hard fucking session, or it's going to be a hard work session where I'm fully immersed in learning about my career, my engineering industry that I'm in now, or I'm doing work on this business, the YouTube business. I'm scripting or recording a video. And look, I can't lie, bro. This method, the 2-hour method, since implementing it in 2023 has got me a literal fucking 6-pack physique from being a skinny fat loser and looking in the mirror and hating what I saw. I used to look in the mirror, look at my twiggy arms, look at my slightly gut of a belly and think, shit, man, if I keep this up in 5 years, I'm going to have an Uncle Beer gut and I'm going to have even skinnier arms with less definition and I'm going to be really upset. And bro, I would look in the mirror and I'd look at my face and I'd be like, shit, man, I don't like the look of myself. I don't like anything about me. And that's not a place that I liked to be, obviously, bro. And I know that some people are in that place right now. And if you're in that place, just know that you're a week of the 2-hour method away from getting out of that fucking hole. And I know how it is, but you will make it out, bro. Once you start telling yourself you're going to do something at a certain time in a certain way without your emotions involved and you actually get it done 7 days straight, there is nothing that you can say to me or anyone else in the world that will make them think that's a negative thing. First and foremost, you're not doing this for people in your family, your girlfriend, your friends. the people watching this video, me, no one. You're doing this for you. Maybe the aforementioned people will reap the reward because they've got a better person around them. Like, you'll be a better brother, you'll be a better son, you'll be a better husband, boyfriend, whatever you are, bro. I know this because I have literally seen the results on myself. I went from a mediocre uni student to graduating with 2 first-class dissertations from one of the top unis in my country, and I came straight out of uni into the highest level career that you can get with my degree, which is a consultant engineer, and I got it in the dream company, bro. I only literally applied to this company and I got the job, and they called me up straight afterwards and told me, bro, well, they didn't say bro, they said just, you were the top performer out of 2,000 candidates with no negative feedback from any of the 14 assessors. And I'm nothing special, bro. I can be the first to tell you, I'm not even the best engineer. Like, there are better engineers out there than me, but I got the job and I was the top performer. Like, there's a reason for that, bro. It's because of the type of person I became. I became a fully grown adult male, and I took control of my life. I took life by the neck, and I thought, these 2 hours in my morning, these are the most crucial, and these are the ones where I'm going to get the most work done. This is the one where I'm going to build the physique. This is where I'm going to build the skills that I need to in order to get this job, and this is where I'm going to start working on my business, bro, because that is what I want to do in my life, and that's ultimately what's going to push the needle. I wasn't going to be some video gaming little cuck who ended up with a six-pack by mistake, was I? I've literally now built my dream physique with like top 1% levels of strength, and I don't say that as a joke, bro. I don't say that as like an arbitrary figure. Only the top 1% can do a full-on one-arm pull-up, can do front levers, can pull 3 times their body weight on a deadlift, and I achieved this all within the last year. And I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, that I'm nothing special, and if I can do it, you can too. I've got fucking, bro, I'm an Indian guy, like, bro, like, there's a guy named Tyrone out there with West African genetics that will think about the gym and put on more gains than I will by going there for a week straight. Yet I still seen the results. The 2-hour method is fucking mental, bro. Like, this is what changed it for me. This is what changed it. Like, bro, I'm still the same person that used to play the video games, that used to be like ripping out my hands out of anxiety, bro. And like, my mum was telling me that no girl will want to marry you because your hands look like shit. Like, you don't understand. I'm still that same guy. I live in the same house. I still remember, like, when I used to measure my height on the door thinking, like, why won't I grow any taller? And I was an insecure little bitch because I had nothing going for me. And I think back to those times and I'm like, I can't believe that I used to be like that. And all it took was 1 week of the 2-hour method. I would have been out of the hole. I would have started making real progress towards my goals. And all I had to do was this. And no one online would tell me this shit. All these other YouTubers, these creators, like, they don't tell you this shit, bro. Scrolling Instagram reels and some guy telling you, yeah, man, do 5 press-ups in between every Warzone game and you're officially locked in. Like, no, you're not. You take the advice, you wake up at 5, you make that checklist and you get it fucking done, bro. And if you want my full program on discipline, which I've got linked below in the description, then this is the one thing that I know will get you to your goals, because I'll give you my personal help. I've given you the full blueprint there, everything that I know. No like time constraint, nothing. Look, I've already wasted like the past, 5 minutes of this video trying to convince you to do the 2-hour method. I will tell you everything I know in that program. It's the first thing in the description. It's the pathway of the tiger. I can't wait to see you inside, bro. And with that, man, sweat of regret, I'm out.